everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Packers going up against the Lions. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Rodgers now on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run with Marshall. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
On first down, Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first, it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Trent Murphy's #1 attribute is playing against the run. To work hard on his pass rush skills.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Going for it all. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass and completing it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he slings one that's incomplete. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll be first down Detroit.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And the back goes into motion. Back to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Mike Daniels continues to get better and better with each year. A nice run stopper inside.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. His throw caught at about the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Marshall. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he goes out right around the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a 1st down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
This is taken at the 18. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They come out here in the I. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Give him 27 yards that time. And it's good enough for a Detroit first down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Ebron caught left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
Time to step aside. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. They run a draw here on 2nd down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll run on the draw. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Hurry up, here we go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Well, he did a nice job.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby! That's what I'm talking about. High five, baby, high five. Let's go!
They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. And the ball is knocked out. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part and forget the bad.
I like that even better.
So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he slides to avoid the hit. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. This is Marshall. They find some open field here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd and short, the fullback Burton. He only got a yard, but that was enough to do the job. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams. As we get set for the fourth quarter. So it'll be first down here after the run. And the tight end Ebron in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And an alley to run. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll be first down Detroit.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Now a handoff looking right, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football, because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
And that was a good collision right there, and I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it, and on that play he did, so you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They come out here in the I. And here's Marshall. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
319!
Back to throw. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll give it to him, line up the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. And he will lose yard. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Forced out to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. 2nd down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he connects with Ebron. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And this defense, they needed that 1 more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that 1 more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Don't make me beg, don't make me wait. I need a hold in the darkness of. Show me my.